After spending years around investors and business leaders, I've come to realize that someone else's failure is usually attributed to bad decisions, while your own failures usually chalk up to the dark side of risk. When judging your failures, I'm likely to prefer a clean and simple story of cause and effect, because I don't know what's going on inside your head. You had a bad outcome, so it must have been caused by a bad decision, is a story that makes the most sense to me. But when judging myself, I can make up a wild narrative justifying my past decisions and attributing bad outcomes to risk. The cover of Forbes magazine does not celebrate poor investors who made good decisions but happened to experience the unfortunate side of risk. But it almost certainly celebrates rich investors who made okay or even reckless decisions and happened to get lucky. Both flip the same coin that happened to land on different sides. The dangerous part of this is that we are all trying to learn about what works and what doesn't with money. What investigating strategies work, which one don't. What business strategies work, which one don't. How do you get rich? How do you avoid being poor? We went to seek out these lessons by observing successes as a failure and saying, do what she did, avoid what he did. If we had a magic wand, we would find out exactly what proportion of these outcomes were caused by actions that are repeatable versus the role of a random risk and luck that's weighed those actions one way or the other. But we don't have a magic wand. We have brains that prefer easy answers without much appetite for nuance. We should emulate or avoid can be agonizingly hard. Let me tell you another story of someone who, like Bill Gates, was wildly successful, but whose success is hard to pin down as being caused by luck or skill. Cornelius Vanderbilt had just finished a series of business deals to expand his railroad empire. One of his business advisors leaned it to tell Vanderbilt that every transaction he agreed to broke the law. "My God, John," said Vanderbilt, "you don't suppose you can run a railroad in accordance with the statutes of the state of New York, do you?" My first thought when reading this was, the attitude is why he was so successful. Laws didn't accommodate railroads during Vanderbilt's day. So he said to hell with it and went ahead anyway. Vanderbilt was wildly successful, so it's tempting to view his law flaunting, which was notorious and vital to his success, as sage wisdom. This scrappy visionary let nothing get in his way. But how dangerous is that analysis? No sane person would recommend flagrant crime as an entrepreneurial trait. You can easily imagine Vanderbilt's story turning out much different. An outlaw whose young company collapsed under court order. We have a problem here. You can praise Vanderbilt for flaunting the law with as much passion as you criticize Enron for doing the same. Perhaps one got lucky by avoiding the arm of the law, while the other found itself on the side of risk. John D. Rockefeller is a similar. His frequent circumventing of the law, a judge once called his company no better than a common thief, is often portrayed by historians as cunning business smarts. Maybe it was, but when there's a narrative shift from "you didn't let outdated laws get in the way of innovation" to "you committed a crime," or how little would the story have to shift for the narrative to have turned from "Rockefeller was a genius, try to learn from his success" to "Rockefeller was a criminal, try to learn from his business failures" very little. What do I care about the law? Vanderbilt once said. Ain't I got the power? He did, and it worked, but it's easy to imagine those being the last words of a story with very different outcome. The line between bold and reckless can be thin. When we don't give risk and luck their proper billing, it's often invisible. Benjamin Graham is known as one of the greatest investors of all time, the father of value investing and the early mentor of Warren Buffett. But the majority of Benjamin Graham's investing success was due to the owning an enormous chunk of GEICO stock, which, by his own admission, broke nearly every diversification rule that Graham himself laid out in his famous text. Where does the thin line between bold and reckless fall here? I don't know. Graham wrote about his GEICO bonanza, one lucky break, or one supremely shrewd decision. Can we tell them apart? Not easily.